Hey everyone, it's Christina and welcome back to Paranormal TV. My dog decided to chew her bone the second I put this camera on, so hopefully that's not too distracting for you guys. Another thing is the lighting's probably not that great. It has been raining so much lately, so the weather is really dreary and it's kind of dark. So I'm doing the best that I can with lighting. So Natasha and I went to go get our palms read a couple weeks ago. We went downtown and we went to the Rittenhouse Psychic readings by Miss Lena, I believe that's what it was. If not, I will put it in text in the video what the correct name is, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So I first went to one psychic that I saw, and unfortunately she wasn't doing readings. I called a second psychic and they didn't even answer their phone. Then I called a third place and they fortunately were doing readings and they were affordable. So palm reading was $10 just for one of your palms. Two was $20. My stance on palm reading is I really don't believe in palm reading. If you believe in palm reading, that's great. You guys can talk to me down below about why you believe in it, your experiences with it, or if you read palms, that's fine. I'd be interested in hearing your point of view, but my point of view is that 9 times out of 10 you're probably not going to get a legitimate reading. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a palm reader. This lady was $10, so I thought that was a decent price. And when we went in, I was hoping to maybe like kind of film it, but there was somebody else getting a reading done in the room that they used for readings, and we couldn't go into that room. We didn't know how long it was going to be. They were there for a while because I had my palm read, Natasha her palm read, and we left and they were still having whatever they were doing done. So we only had this little space to work with, and she actually asked Natasha to leave, so I didn't have anywhere I could put my camera, and I didn't have Natasha to hold my camera because she wanted to see us privately. The lady was really nice. I don't think I saw Miss Lena though, because I looked up the reviews and she had great reviews, so we decided to go with her. And people described her as somebody in her 40s. The person who read our palms was pretty young. She was very nice. She was very pretty. So we sat down, she shook my hand, and she looked at my palm. She looked at my palm and she told me to make 2 wishes. One I was supposed to tell her, and the other one I was supposed to keep to myself, and I was not expecting to make wishes, so I was like, crap, what do I wish for? I don't really have anything to wish for at this moment. So then I just said something generic, and I was like, oh, I wish that everything would work out financially with my family. And the second one was wishing for my health to be good. Lacey's all into this bone. I really hope it's not distracting, guys. I told her about the financial one, and because I really kind of wanted to see if she could pick up on any health stuff. She said to me I had a lot of changes coming up and I had a lot of decisions to make, and I was a little bit confused about some things, which is kind of true. I definitely have a lot of changes, a lot of decisions, and a lot of confusion when it comes to that. Another thing she said was that I have a beautiful aura. I don't really know a lot about that stuff. I was actually thinking about researching it to find out a little bit more about it, possibly doing a video on it because I really don't know a whole lot about it. I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to that information. But she told me I had a beautiful aura. I'm pretty positive. Sometimes I can be negative, but overall I'm pretty positive. And I'm creative, I'm family oriented, things like that. However, I do think that, you know, when I said my family's financial situation, that could like give you a hint that I'm family oriented. I would say I'm pretty creative, and I am pretty positive, but then I can be negative. So I mean, all that was correct. Then she started to say, well, tell me more about these changes, when I told her that she was right about that. I was like, I don't want to tell you more. You tell me more. Like, why am I telling you? Tell me, right? And so I would kind of go into minor details. I was pretty broad about it, though. I wasn't really narrowing in on one thing. And she was just like, well, tell me more about this. I told her I was getting married, so she was like, well, tell me about how long have you been together? Like, all this stuff. By the end of it, I kind of feel like I was seeing a therapist rather than a psychic, because she would tell me to tell her more information about something, and then she would kind of like give me advice about it, but not as like she was predicting my future kind of thing. More so like she said, well, are you worried about your marriage or anything like that? And I said, I'm a little worried about, you know, like where I'm gonna live, because it's not completely figured out yet. I'm a little worried that, you know, because we don't have everything figured out, that we might be rushing. And she's like, well, you know, you said you've been together for 3 years. Do you think you're rushing it? So it just felt like a therapist, more so than a psychic. I left, Natasha went in. When Natasha came out, we kind of exchanged stories about our experience, and we found out she said almost exactly the same thing to me and Natasha. She told Natasha she can be negative, that she's creative, and she has a great aura, all that. The one thing she said differently about her was that she's humble, and she said that I was more positive than Natasha. She kind of focused more so on the negativity of Natasha, and Natasha can be negative sometimes. So I think you can tell that about Natasha's personality when she's first meeting somebody. So I don't feel like she really like hit the nail on the head there. Oh, she also told me that I was going to have children, but not yet. And again, I feel like if I told you that I'm worried about financial situations, I'm getting married, a kid probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to bring into this world if you're kind of worried about how you're gonna be financially. So I feel like that was, you know, like not that great either. I think she was very nice. I think that she's complete BS though, and that is my opinion. I know a lot of people really liked her, so I guess it depends on your reading. I also didn't see Miss Lena. I saw somebody else. I think maybe it was her daughter or something. I'm not really sure. It was nice. It was fun, and I would recommend going there if you weren't expecting anything amazing. You weren't expecting a real reading. If you wanted to shell out $10 for some fun, I think that's exactly what it is. I know that I'm a Christian. A lot of people believe Christians shouldn't do this, but I don't believe that it's accurate. I don't believe that I'm getting my future told to me when it comes to palm reading. So for me, it will take a lot for me to believe in the reading that I'm having done, and I think 9 times out of 10 I'm not going to see somebody who's actually psychic. That God kind of sees more so your soul and who you are, rather than if you went to get your palm read or not. You know what I mean? So that was my experience. I think that it was fun, and if you want to have some fun, it's cool to go to. And I was reading reviews, and one person said Lena told them that they were cursed, and to remove the curse they needed to pay extra money, and got mad when the person said they couldn't afford to pay extra money to have the curse removed. And it's pretty funny. It was a pretty funny review actually. But honestly, if I'm getting my palm read, right, and you're BSing me, BS me with something good like a curse. Like, I want to be cursed. I mean, I'm positive, but sometimes can be negative. That's a little bit boring. I want an interesting BS palm reading done, not a boring one. That's my only complaint about the situation. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't really want to be cursed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye!